Whether you're at home or on the road, take Atlanta's best hometown team with you everywhere. Stream The Fan on the all-new 680 The Fan app or at home on your smart speaker by enabling the 680 The Fan skill. You'll get access to The Fan's live stream with the latest on the Braves, every minute of Georgia Tech hoops, and Atlanta's best lineup of sports talk personalities to keep you going all day. Plus, you can always get the latest news, tickets to our epic tailgates, and live streaming online at 680thefan.com.
Let's talk some law. Jarrod Oxendine, the owner, CEO, and managing partner of Oxendine Law, Divorce and Family Law Attorneys. OXLawFirm.com is the place to go. Joins us right now here on the Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM. Jarrod, always a pleasure, sir. How you doing?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Just busy loving the law, baby. Loving the law.
Yeah, the law in Vegas right now is probably loving the fact that if they're a client or Britney Spears and or her soon-to-be ex-husband is a client, things are going pretty well right now. Not really a surprise, huh?
No, what a great repeat client. I don't know if the same lawyer keeps handling case after case after case for her, but, she does divorces like popping popcorn.
Does it get easier over time if you deal with multiple divorces and you're the same attorney with the same client?
Well, you certainly get to know the personality of your client, that's for sure. But, smartly, somebody has advised her along the way to get prenuptial agreements, and it sounds like she got one in this instance. So she should be good to go. It was a short-term marriage. She's got the prenup. It's just a matter of jumping through the hoops.
We hear ironclad, and then everybody, look, I know attorneys might not necessarily like the word loophole, but that's the one that I use because I think it's the one that everybody understands. When I read ironclad, is that a guarantee, or there's still ways to sort of dissect it and go, well, that one, like how confident do you have to be when you tell a client, nope, this one is going to stick up no matter what?
Well, good CYA is always, you can never guarantee anything, the law is, there's so many shades of gray, it's incredible. But if it's drafted properly, you have a very good shot. I mean, I would say in the 90% range, if not better, of having it enforced. The biggest way you can get it unenforced is, let's say you don't disclose something. So client comes in the office, because prenuptial agreements are based on full disclosure. So, and it's actually attached as an exhibit to the prenup. It has a full listing of all of your assets, how much money you have in bank accounts, retirement accounts, homes, the whole 9 yards. If you intentionally fail to disclose something, that's grounds to have it set aside. So that's the number one thing I usually see as to why these get set aside. But short of that, minus some other extraordinary circumstances, it's going to be enforced.
Jarrod Oxendine with us, OXLawFirm.com, the place to go. It's everybody's worst nightmare. Jamar Chase of the Cincinnati Bengals. As a stalker, the law has to get involved after a one-night stand.
Yeah, and these protective orders, some people abuse those. So what you're talking about, this guy had a one-night stand, and she turns out to be the nightmare one-night stand, and she is now stalking him and harassing him and kind of bullying him all over social media and out in the public. So he's pursuing what's called a protective order. But I deal with those all the time, and you have circumstances where people are being abused physically, they're being harassed, stalked, maybe they're receiving threatening messages from somebody. You can go out and get a restraining order. I also see that abuse, though. You'll have people that make up a story because they want to get an unfair advantage, maybe in the divorce case, and they call the police acting like their spouse has abused them. And sometimes the police buy it, or sometimes they're able to go and get the restraining order and convince the judge to issue it when it never really actually happened. So you have to be careful with that. The rule of thumb is if you're in a heated situation with your significant other, back down, kind of keep the peace. Don't get yourself in one of those situations.
All right, let me go back to the Britney Spears, but something that might be bigger picture than that. One of the things that you're going to read pretty quickly is, if you don't give me something more than I was promised in a prenuptial, I'm going to tell stories about you. Don't we still call that extortion?
That could be extortion, and the prenuptial agreement actually might even have some built-in damages for that. So, I know the ones that I draft will have some clauses in there that, call for some liquidated damages if the person does not honor the terms of the prenuptial agreement and tries to fight it. It certainly also is grounds to have that other person pay off your attorney's fees. And she may even have a defamation claim, a separate claim against him for defamation because she's a public figure.
Do they usually include non-disclosures?
They can. In high-profile cases, we do some non-disclosure agreements that are part of the final agreement in the divorce case, and those, of course, have built-in penalties as well if they're violated.
So what if somebody is harassing you via text and you tell them stop, you're harassing me, and they keep texting you. Is that grounds for anything like a protective order along those lines? Because Domino, he bothers me all the time, and I tell him stop, and he's not listening.
And I'm a little tired of I look over my shoulder and, hey, who's in that car parked over there? I think they're following me.
Julian, let's go down to the courthouse, man. Get a protective order against Domino. That would be a fun event. We could videotape it and play it on air.
Do you know what this case...
We work together. We just can't text one another.
Jared, do you know where this case loses steam? Ask him to be honest. If he's going to be your client, ask him to be honest. I never text him back. Ever.
Oh, yeah, that's true. If it's all coming from one direction, so we're getting the restraining order against Tellini, is what you're saying.
Yes, you have now jumped ship. Good for you, sir. You're on the winning side.
I lose again. If you want to win, Jarrod Oxendine is the guy to talk to. Where do they need to go, Ox?
OXLawFirm.com. Go on the web, give us a call, 770-497-8688. We'll get you in for a free consultation.
All right, you got it. Jarrod Oxendine. Oh, it's a pleasure having him on.
The biggest Braves coverage in the South is always rolling at thepodcastpark.com. Check out the fans' exclusive lineup of Braves podcasts, including K-Mac's weekly Braves update, the Braves Clubhouse Report, 643 with Dylan Short, plus the return of Hardball with Chris Domino, and the latest breaking news every morning at 10 a.m. with Matt Chernoff's Daily 10. Get our Braves podcast everywhere you get podcasts, or stream them all for free on the 680 The Fan app or thepodcastpark.com. Presented by Associated Credit Union.